This is your Adventist News, a service of the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, and I'm Stanley Fullord. Coming up in this week's broadcast, members equipped to soar. Women vow to praise through the pandemic, and the cure is here. These stories and more on this week's Adventist News. The much anticipated SOAR, Solutions to Obstacles Adventist Retreat, was held last weekend on October 9th through the 11th via Zoom. The initiative, held by the Ministerial Department of the South Bahamas Conference, led by Ministerial Secretary Pastor T. Basil Stirrup, focused on equipping and training directors, pastors, and members on effective and strategic ways to lead their churches to the next level in ministry. The opening keynote message was brought by Dr. Carlton Bird, speaker and director of Breath of Life Ministries and senior pastor of the Oakwood Seventh-day Adventist Church. Pastor Bird spoke on the importance of changing our methods now.
My brothers and sisters, you can say we don't need a change, but the world around you is changing. And with our young people, and I'm going to them now, decrease youth and young adults if we refuse to change. Our young people are not like us or our parents or our parents' parents. Through the storm, through the rain, our parents and our parents' parents were loyal to the church. You are dealing, and we are dealing with a different demographic with our young people today. They will not argue anymore. They will not try to say we need change. What they will do is vote with their feet. And with their feet, they will stop going to church, or with their feet, they will go to another church, or in our virtual experience, they will identify another church where they would like to worship at during this virtual experience. We can ignore them all we want, but the consequence of refusing to change decrease youth and young adults. Not only that, negative publicity, where people will say, oh, that's their church, they don't want to change, they just want to do what they've always been doing. I can't be bothered with that. Failures to change will result in negative publicity. And I am a witness. You can have billboards, you can have handbills, you can have flyers, you can have social media ads. But the greatest advertisement for anyone's church is word of mouth. It's people talking to other people.
Other plenary session presenters included international speakers Pastor Gordon Fraser, Dr. Bushner, and Pastor Peter Watson, who addressed topics such as the importance of building membership within our local environment online, in addition to keeping youth engaged in the activities of the church. A variety of local presenters also led out the breakout sessions covering topics of physical health, church success, mental health, and how to minister to persons in the secular world. SOAR came to a climax on Sunday with plenary session presenters Pastor T. Basil Stirrup and Pastor Jeff Jefferson, Executive Secretary of the Cayman Islands Conference.
But once you know the mission of your church, you can clearly articulate a vision to take you where you want to go that allows you to do the things that you want to do. Now, notice I didn't say once you have a dream. I said once you have a vision. And I'm going to talk a little bit about vision before this presentation comes to an end. Once you have a vision, you can clearly articulate how we're going to set up, structure, and allow these felt needs ministries to function. So, number one, we have to prepare the church that we attend, and our attitude towards this crisis is going to be important. For the past 7 months, I've been preaching on one theme. A crisis is a terrible thing to waste. And so we're allowing it to help us to grow, to become stronger, so that when we come out of COVID-19, we would have been stronger as a congregation than before we went into it.
And we know the story very well, those of us who are Bible-believing people, especially the prophetic people, of Nebuchadnezzar and the dream that he had, and how Daniel's interpretation of the dream, when Daniel says, after thee will arise. That was the most perplexing part of the interpretation to Nebuchadnezzar, because there was a prophecy that after him, someone else will come. So this is a question that leadership succession planning seeks to answer. Who comes next? Who comes next? Not in the role necessarily that other people fill, but perhaps in the role that you and I also fill. It's quite easy to answer the question or to think about the question, who comes next, in the role that someone else fills. But then it becomes more emotional and personal when we have to answer the question, who comes next in the role that each of us fill. So we have to remember that at the core of leadership succession planning is the answer to the question, who comes next?
Women and Gems all around the South Bahamas Conference are attending this weekend's virtual events under the theme, The Gathering, Pandemic, Birth, Prayer, and Praise. The meetings will be held from October 16th through 18th via Zoom and broadcasted live on the Women's Ministries Facebook page. Jacqueline Gibson gave us more on the exciting conclave.
Tomorrow morning, we continue with the Pink Impact, highlighting breast cancer awareness, hearing from survivors, as well as our guest musical artist and Pastor K. White. On Sunday afternoon, we conclude with our Sofa Talk segment, where we will discuss employment, marriage, health, spirituality, and the effect on women during this unprecedented time. Professionals will be in the room to give sound, godly advice, and there will be lots of prizes and surprises.
The greatest want of the world is the want of men. Men who will not be bought or sold. Men who in their inmost souls are true and honest. Men who do not fear to call sin by its right name. Men whose conscience is as true to duty as the needle to the pole. Men who will stand for right though the heavens fall, said Ellen G. White. This weekend, a cadre of preachers are prepared to present the cure to the world's issues in an online campaign held by the South Bahamas Conference. Under the caption, The Cure, Are You Ready for It? The 2-week campaign is a part of an initiative launched by the Inter-American Division revolving around the focus, Let's Talk About Him. The series kicks off this Saturday evening with Pastor Deblair Snell, senior pastor of the First Seventh-day Adventist Church in Florida. Throughout the first week of the campaign, messages will be brought to us by a number of dynamic young preachers from our conferences. Get ready for these power-packed services and be sure to invite a friend. The services will be live on the South Bahamas Conference Facebook page, and you can connect on our website.
And say, I need somebody to understand that even though you are to enjoy this life, you don't have to lament or hate this life. You ought to be able to manage the tension of being able to enjoy your home, enjoy your house, enjoy your community, enjoy this world, but still realizing that this world is not our home.
My name is Siobhan Sherman, and I want to share with you an exciting way to get involved with the Adventist Development and Relief Agency, or better known as ADRA, now in the Bahamas. ADRA is the humanitarian organization of the Seventh-day Adventist Church and exists solely to help people live the way that God intended. ADRA Bahamas has been engaged in partnerships with other civic organizations with a focus on Abaco, Grand Bahama, and New Providence. We have thus far provided water to communities impacted by Hurricane Dorian, food packages and household items to residents, repaired damaged roofs of teachers and community members' homes, conducted school rehabilitations to help quicken the return of students to school. And there is still more that we have to do, and you can help. You can join us in being a part of our Make a Difference initiative. Make a Difference is an opportunity to allow all of your coins and, of course, the welcomed dollar bills to touch the life of someone else. As you know, our 1 cent coin will become obsolete at the end of 2020. Rather than throwing these coins away, let's redeem them. Do you have a jar of pennies or coins? Free yourself of those coins from now until December 1st. You will never know how far those coins can go. It can end up in a project in Andros or Exuma or Neapolis, or it can help in a disaster somewhere around the world through partnerships with one of our 135 ADRA country offices. So, let the coins roll. You may drop your coins to your church, at the local conference office, deposit it to our account, deliver it to our head office, or call us and we will come and pick it up from you. So, join us. Let the coins and dollar bills roll to make a difference in the lives of others and help show and share your love and commitment to God while helping to improve the quality of life for your brother and sister the way God intends for all. Thank you.
Welcome back to Adventist News. Coming up in the South Bahamas Conference, Week of Prayer for the Children and Adolescents will be held on October 25th through 31st, 2020. Daily challenges will be shared with the CHAM leaders for distribution to parents by WhatsApp and on our new Facebook page at Children and Adolescent Ministries South Bahamas Conference. The videos and flyers for the kids will be shared throughout the week, and children and parents will participate in this inspiring initiative every day under the theme, Jesus Covers Me. A joint service will be held on October 31st to bring our week of prayer to a climax where our children will lead out. Connect with your CHAM leader, see our conference website, or visit the CHAM Facebook page for more information. Creation Sabbath will be celebrated throughout the conference on October 24th. Dr. Timothy Standish, senior scientist at the Geoscience Research Institute, will be featured speaker. Join us at 11 a.m. at the Centerville Church or via the church's YouTube channel as Dr. Standish speaks on Reality Still Matters. The afternoon session, Biological Evidence for a Recent Creation, begins at 4:30 via our virtual platforms. The Rescue Project series hosted by the Bethany Seventh-day Adventist Church will wrap up this weekend. This initiative is geared towards addressing social issues in society and their role in preparing us for the second coming of Christ. The speaker is Pastor Jamal Franklin, pastor of the Bethany Seventh-day Adventist Church. You can join the services via the church's YouTube page. And the Johnson Park Seventh-day Adventist Church will host a virtual vegetarian cook-off with Marlene McKinney on October 18th at 2:30 p.m. via Zoom. The selection will be black bean burgers, veggie meatball, and carrot cake. It promises to be an exciting time. For more information on these events, please visit our conference website at southbahamasconference.org, where you can view our news update along with other programming from our cable channel ATV 658, read the weekly logos, and the Adventist page publication from the Nassau Guardian.
Feeling down from time to time is a normal thing. But when it starts to make you feel a sense of hopelessness and despair, you have depression. Depression is a mood disorder that affects a person's everyday activities. A person may feel low or things that they once enjoyed no longer interest them. life suddenly becomes too hard. As depression creeps in and builds up over time, often you may forget how or when it all started. Depression can be caused by poor nutrition. Your body requires a variety of vitamins and minerals. If these requirements are not met, the body becomes deficient. Studies have shown that people that consume diets high in whole foods like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains show a decreased risk of becoming depressed. Poor physical health. Our minds and bodies are linked. If you have mental issues, it affects your overall health and vice versa. Exercise improves your mood, increases endorphins in your body, which help to produce positive feelings and help to distract you from stressful situations in life, all of which are important factors in helping to decrease depression. Stress. No matter how hard we try, we can't seem to avoid stress. We often think of stress as a bad thing, but stress helps us with alertness in our fight or flight response. Stress is not an illness on its own, but stress and mental health go hand in hand. When it becomes chronic, it starts to have negative effects on you physically and mentally, causing the onset of depression. Symptoms of depression include changes in mood, feeling angry or irritable, changes in emotion, feeling sad or hopeless, cognitive issues, inability to concentrate or talking more slowly, changes in sleep, insomnia or restless sleep. Beat depression by reaching out and staying connected with family and friends, doing things that make you feel good, exercising and keep moving, getting a daily dose of sunshine. This has been Tanya Nomafo with your health tip, courtesy of Adventist Television. And remember, God wants us to prosper and be in good health.
We go now to our news feature from around the world with the Adventist News Network.
First in the news, Annual Council is now in full swing.
Annual Council is one of the 2 yearly meetings of the Seventh-day Adventist Church's Executive Committee.
The Executive Committee is the second highest governing body of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. It's only second to the delegates of the General Conference session, which takes place every 5 years.
During Annual Council, members of the committee, commonly referred to as delegates, vote on policies and reports that are necessary for the operation of the church.
On the opening day of Annual Council, G.T. Ng, Executive Secretary for the Global Adventist Church, updated members of the Executive Committee on membership and mission during the Secretariat report.
Ng began his remarks to the Annual Council delegates with an emphasis on the sheer prophetic calling of the Adventist Church.
During his report, Ng shared the most recent membership figures of the worldwide church. In 2018, there were 21.4 million members in the Seventh-day Adventist Church, an increase of 687,000 from the previous year.
In terms of baptisms and professions of faith, there was an increase of 30,000 baptisms from the year 2017, which saw approximately 1.3 million, to the year 2018, which had approximately 1.4 million.
That brings us to the end of our Adventist news from the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. Please feel free to share what is happening at your church by sending us your news stories and upcoming events by email to sbcadventistnews@gmail.com. To view a rebroadcast of the Adventist news along with other programming, or simply to keep in touch with what's happening in our conference, you can visit our conference website at southbahamasconference.org. Like, follow, and subscribe to our Facebook and Instagram pages, as well as our YouTube channel. And on behalf of the production team of Adventist Television Channel 658, thank you for watching our news broadcast. I'm Stanley Fullord for the SBC Media Network. Have a happy Sabbath.